If I have to record this video one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. Preface, this is my 4th time shooting this video. Because every time, either someone knocks on my door or something else happens. Duh, okay, whatever. Let's just... Hi guys, welcome to Bucket. I am Sav Lewis, and today we are going to be diving straight down into the dark hole of an abyss, which is Credence by Penelope Douglas. For those that haven't read this book, I will tell you all that this will have some spoilers in it. So if you don't want the book to be spoiled, go ahead and just click off now, because I will be spoiling the absolute dog shit out of this book. Also, I do want to give a fair trigger warning. This book does have the themes of sexual assault, incest, blood, emotional manipulation, kind of kidnapping, and just a bunch of other things. So if that affects you in any way negatively, go ahead and just click off this video for your mental health, for my mental sake. Let's just go ahead and just do that. But if you are okay with all of it, let's go ahead and dive into what I consider a train wreck of a story. So let's just brief synopsis. Basically, this book is about a girl named Tiernan who parents, they decide to, themselves leaving her by herself. Her dad was a famous screenwriter and her mother was an actress and his starlet. They were obsessed with each other, so when they decided to kill each other together, they left her by herself. She gets a phone call from her step uncle, which is her dad's, I guess, stepbrother, and he says that she can go out and live with him in Colorado with his 2 sons. She decides to step away from the spotlight and go on out there, and basically she falls in love with not one of them, not 2 of them, but all 3 of them. She ends up spending her entire time out there with them. There's a bunch of little things that happen, but overall, there is not a big plot to the story. A lot of it is smut induced, as you can see on my tabs. A lot of them is smut, which does come with incest and a lot of other sexual themes as well. There is not a lot of character development. There's not a lot of character background that is given. We get some things here and there about each character, enough to know them a little bit, but not enough to build an entire book. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the first thing. What the fuck is up with her falling in love with her uncle and 2 cousins? So you meet her uncle, who is, just a normal, everyday working man. They all work on the property as they fix up motorbikes and stuff for seasons. So they go ahead and they do that. We meet Noah, the first cousin, who is, in all honesty, cute little, heart of gold kind of guy, just wants to find love, just wants to. And then we meet Caleb. I am going to leave Caleb out of it because I have an entire section on him later on in the video where I am going to tear the poor guy apart. But let's just stick with other things right now. In my personal opinion, this is just me thinking, I believe that she was kidnapped because while she did go back to LA to her parents' funeral and spend time with her friends and, well, not family, but kind of family, people who are close enough to her family out there, she does not leave the house other than that. Anytime she wants to go into town or anywhere, she does have to go with somebody. She does school online, so she doesn't have to worry about, going to school. But something that really kind of made me feel uncomfortable about the whole situation is that she ended up staying with them through the winter, and they told her at the very beginning she'd be there for at least 4 months because the roads get icy and snowy. Completely understandable in the element that they are in, but she does not leave. There is one scene where these people tried to come up there and take her, some of the regulars in town, but that does not work. They basically just get the crap beat out of them and, carried on. So while that was supposed to be seen as the bad guys coming to steal her from her family, I saw it as people trying to save her from the predators that are her family. But so yeah, she was basically just held there. She wasn't a slave or anything. She did have to cook and clean everything for them. They expected her to do housewife duties and take care of them, even though that they had lived their entire lives without her before. They acted like they needed her there to do that stuff, which was kind of irritating, but whatever. There is a bunch of, as you can tell, there's a bunch of sexual scenes in this book. I cannot stress that enough. Not just between Tiernan and her cousins and uncle, but also between their like hometown honeys, girls that they, you know, had in the past, and, you know, not relationship wise, but stuff like that you meet throughout the book. There is just so many people that come on. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into Caleb. So for those that are Caleb stans, you're going to want to just go ahead and just, because I cannot stand the man. If I have to read that he was broken one more time, I might lose my mind. He was not broken. He was a walking red flag psychopath. So the first time we meet Caleb, he tries to sexually assault Tiernan without even knowing who she is. She walks out in the garage and he immediately is trying to take off her clothes and just shove his dick in her. Sorry, but that's literally what he does, which is very frustrating because you don't even know that, like, you don't even know her. Like, she's just walking outside. And he also had this whole, like, brooding, like, very just like way about him that was very violent. He was known for being a violent guy. He was known for being just a very overall violent person. He had one girl in the book that we meet, and she is like 100% for Caleb. She wants to be his savior and just save him because they're meant to be together. Obviously that doesn't happen. That's a red flag. He also doesn't talk. So the big thing about Caleb is that he doesn't speak. Or when he does speak, it's very quiet and minimal, and he doesn't talk about anything because he's just, you know, broken. That's the way that he was portrayed. I don't see him as that. I see him as somebody who doesn't talk because he has serious mommy issues, which is totally fine to have those. But at the same part, you can't expect me to feel sympathy for the guy when he is just a terrible guy overall. I went ahead and did a rating and review on Goodreads. I'll go ahead and put my link right here so you can go ahead and just like go click on it, follow it, like it, comment, whatever. But I put that the book started off normal, story of a girl whose parents killed themselves and then she decides to leave the spotlight and move to Colorado. Totally fine. There was a section where she was told that she could not leave the home because it'd be icy and snowy. There's a scene where she's almost taken by some regulars in the town where they're meant to be the bad guys. They were trying to save her from the predators that her family was. Caleb has a whole section. The first time we're introduced to him, he tries to sexually assault Tiernan, and then after that he's rude, does not speak to her, and he spits blood on her, assaults her, and more. Really all around bad dude. Someone spits blood on me, you're catching an elbow to the face. There are many whores that he has throughout the book that want to try to change him because he's considered damaged when he's a walking red flag as a whole. The whole non-speaking thing is supposed to show that he's still distressed over his mother and that the audience should feel bad for him and think of someone that they could possibly relate to, but this is not correct. He's a monster. The fact that the two of them ended up together over Nora is baffling because if you're going to fuck all your cousins, you might as well choose the one that's nice and have the heart at the end of it. At the very end of the book, we do learn that her and Caleb have a child. Is it actually Caleb's child? Don't know. You had unprotected sex with all of them. So, unsure, but he does become the father and assume the fatherly role. Overall, this book, very well written. Let's talk about some pros. A very well-written book. Penelope Douglas, I've heard she has awesome things like Punk 57 and Birthday Girl. I'm really excited to check those out. I'm really, into that. I think that those will be very good books. But this book in particular, I kind of wonder what my homegirl was thinking. Because what the fuck? I don't really know why it was needed or what. I just kind of want to know the thought process behind. I put in my review, overall the book was well written. I know she has other books that are amazing and can't wait to check them out, but this one was not it, sis. This one can be described described as a train wreck because I could not look away, yet I had to continue to see how the book ended. I'm shocked overall at the book, and I really wanted to know what was going through her mind when she wrote it. I genuinely want to know if she sat down and thought, this is a great idea, I have to do it right now, or if it was something that just came to her over time. I'm also going to tell you my favorite quote from the book. I'm going to go ahead and put it right here, which is, avoiding the bad means you risk avoiding the good too, and I'd rather be hurt than never not feel this, which is about, you know, Taryn and Caleb. I thought it was a very nice quote, very good quote that we could relate back to life, but overall, that was my favorite quote. This book, I would give it a 2.7, but in Goodreads, you have to round it up. So I would go ahead and give it a 3 stars out of 5 stars. With this book, I also would give this a 4 stars out of 5 when it comes to a spicy scale, just because it is a little more spicy and a little more adult read and adult focus. So if you're into that type of thing, you will like this. I will tell you there are some major themes in here though that are dark and are more serious. So please be careful of that. At the end of it, I think that this book was okay. So yeah, that's it. Please go ahead and give a like and subscribe and comment down below. Let me know what you think. Did you like the idea of Taryn and Caleb together, or do you think her and Noah should have been together? Do you think that none of them should have been together because it's fucking weird to fuck your cousin? Or are you the type of person where you're like, you know, it happens? Do you think that she really was kidnapped? Do you think that she should have never gone to it? I want to know your opinions. I'll also go ahead and link below my Goodreads. Go ahead and give me a follow on there and stay up to date on all of my book reviews. Thank you so much, and everybody have a great day. Bye!